Koala's new hamster hat.
This animal will peel your face off like a banana.
I mean, apparently they will peel your face off, so maybe not. Maybe we don't do that. Maybe we just don't let them be. Yeah, it's more and more past time. Let's go.
This animal will peel your face off like a banana. Introducing the one creature that strikes fear into the hearts of every Aussie. The infamous, terrifying drop bear. A species of predatory marsupial exclusive to the land down under. This genuine nightmare may...
Is koala marsupial as well? Why does Australia have so many marsupials? Koala marsupial.
Seem pretty normal at first, closely resembling the koala bear, and that is by design. You see, the drop bear is an ambush predator, patrolling the branches of the eucalyptus tree and using their keen sense of smell to detect incoming prey. And once they can smell you approaching, they will position themselves in the leaves of the trees.
Is that why their nose is so big? So they can smell everything. Also, are koalas and drop bears different? Drop bear is 100 times deadlier.
Basically impossible to spot unless you're actively looking for them.
They
and
look
even if
the
you
same.
do see them, you're automatically going to assume it's a koala. And that assumption is probably going to be the last mistake you make, because walking under these things is inviting the most painful death you can think of. Once you've walked into range, the drop bear will launch itself from a tree and aim directly for your head. Small animals will often be clapped on impact as the 20-kilo drop bear launched itself out of the tree so fast that it snaps their spine. And they're the lucky ones, because once they make contact with your head, drop bears will immediately puncture your scalp with their foreclaws and latch on like a fuzzy little face hugger.
Why are they so crazy?
Once
Why are
firmly
they so
attached to your
crazy?
skull, the drop bear will start to kick out your eyes with its hind claws
Why do they have
in an
no
attempt
chill?
to blind you. And while they are forcing you to cosplay Daredevil, they will be tearing into your face with their fangs like a fucking chainsaw. The attacks are so vicious, most human victims end up being completely scalped and having their faces removed. And even if you manage to pull them off in the initial assault, those claws contain a potent neurotoxin which will paralyze you in under 5 minutes, allowing them to run you down and eat you alive. Australia loses roughly 600 people per year to drop bear attacks.
No.
So if you want to survive your trip down under, I have a secret to share with you about the drop bear. And that secret is that all of this is complete and utter bullshit. Drop bears aren't real. I made it all up. April Fool's cunt.
Wait, I feel like our Australian hamster, Quarks, has told us about this bear creature that is made up. Is this what it's based on? Listen, I didn't think that he was gonna choose a koala. I thought this was different because he was actually like showing pictures.
Drop bears are a famous joke they tell to tourists.
Yeah, I am prepared. Not that I was planning on going, but now I'm not falling for this ever, 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 ever again. Okay? Never.
This jellyfish is
No! Skip.
This pigeon saved an
Skip it.
entire army battalion.
Heroes never die.
Introducing
never
our
die.
protagonist, Sheriff.
Just kidding. I'll go back.
This jellyfish is basically a time bomb. Introducing the Irukandji, a species of jellyfish
Oh wait,
native to
actually
the
this is
Northern Water.
good. Now I can tell monsters not to put jellyfish on the head because this is the proof. This is gonna prove my point.
To the land down under, and possibly my least favourite animal in the entire ocean, because it is just a massive, spiteful cunt. Well, massive is misleading, as this little guy is tiny. I mean, ridiculously small. Being not much bigger than your fingernail at the head and basically completely fucking invisible to the naked eye. This is a fairly major problem, because behind that halo cloak frame they are dragging 3-foot-long tentacles and shocking absolutely no one.
Say the light,
So its body's that little and the legs are that long.
Bart.
It is one of the most venomous jellyfish in the ocean. I'm so f***ing tired of the stealth poison multiclasses on OCA
Why are we
servers, dude. This shit is
yelling?
broken. You see, those 3-foot tentacles are covered with tiny little barbs, and at the barest touch, they will literally propel themselves into your skin like a bullet and inject you with the Australia Special, a pina colada cocktail of various neurotoxins. And upon being injected,
Yay,
you will feel
neurotoxins.
absolutely Nothing. You'll keep swimming around, splashing about in the water, kissing the homies, until you are overcome with a sudden, severe feeling of impending dread. I mean the kind of dread that will have you hysterically screaming that you are about to die.
I am gonna die! I'm gonna die! I'm gonna f***ing die!
That's because the invisible cunt here does psychic damage, inflicting a
Oh my
condition known as
gosh.
Irukandji syndrome, which starts with a feeling of impending doom so strong
That is
there are records of people
crazy.
asking to be, avoiding a ban here,
They control our mind?
forcibly disconnected from God's Minecraft server. And that feeling of doom is warranted because about 30 minutes after being stung, that biological bomb goes off, with the venom initially causing extreme pain throughout your entire body.
Maybe it's that your body just knows that it's something bad is like in your body and it's gonna do damage. And so it's not necessarily controls the mind, but your mind's like, is something bad happening right now? Alert.
And after making you feel like a failed isekai protagonist, the venom then spikes your blood pressure and heart rate through the roof, which can cause heart attacks, blood clots, and has even been recorded to cause brain hemorrhages.
And the
my
f***ed
God.
up part is, it doesn't have an anti-venom.
This thing sneak attacks you, waits 30 minutes, sends you a
And then it
private
goes
DM
off.
telling you it got your ass, and there is not a f***ing thing you can do about it. Toxic little shit.
Stop putting jellyfish on your head. Stop doing it, numbsters. I don't ever want to go into the ocean if I go to Australia. Once more, I'm reminded, nope, I'm not going in there. No.
This pigeon saved an entire army battalion.
Heroes never die.
Heroes
Introducing
never
our
die.
protagonist, Jeremy, a carrier pigeon who was in the employ of the US Army Signal Corps during World War I. You see, back in the oldie times, radio technology was, kind of dog shit. So carrier pigeons were still the meta for DMing the homies memes over distance. Which is how, in 1918, our feathered little shock trooper here ended up in
It's so
France.
crazy to me though still that pigeons, they know how to deliver mails. They fly and they literally just go where you want them
With
to
500
go.
US
How does
soldiers
it
stuck
work?
3 kilometers behind enemy lines, completely cut off from supply and reinforcement in a 7-day shootout. You see, Jeremy's battalion, juiced up on freedom and red crayons, had overextended and become trapped, surrounded on all sides by German soldiers. And to make matters worse,
That cat
being
was so
stuck behind
small.
enemy lines meant they were now on the receiving end of US defense spending, being absolutely hammered with friendly artillery. Now,
Oh,
stuck as
God.
far away as they would have had more luck using their radio as fucking nunchucks than a comms device. So they began sending out carrier pigeons in an attempt to tell command to stop fucking shelling them and help on the point. However, the Germans were having none of that shit and shot every single carrier pigeon the battalion sent out of the air like they were running an AIM Labs warm-up.
No.
Until only one remained, Jeremy. Desperate and rapidly running out of soldiers, the battalion wrote a message and attached it to Jeremy, sending him into the air and watching him sail above the trees. And just when they thought he was clear,
No.
some f***ing sweat on the German side nailed him. The battalion watched in horror as their last hope spiraled out of the sky. The bullet tore straight through Jeremy's center of mass, destroying one eye, punching a hole through his chest, and blowing off one of his legs. And this Giga Chad of an animal tanked it.
What?
Do you have any ibuprofen? I got a headache.
The Marines watched in awe as this mangled pigeon picked itself out of the mud and managed to fly clear of German fire. Jeremy made it the whole way back to base, delivering the message and saving a total of 194 soldiers. Not only did he get the job done, but he f***ing lived. He was granted one of the highest military honors the French army could provide and sent into retirement with his trainer. And when he eventually did pass several years later, he was preserved and placed in the Smithsonian, where you can go see him today. There he is. Absolute
Oh my
legend.
god. I'm
Pigeon
so glad
saved
he
an
lived. That's crazy. Literally saved like way more lives than a normal human will ever get to save in their lifetime. And it was this little pigeon. Channeled his inner dinosaur. There is dinosaur in him. For real. Dang, that's
Scientists
a crazy
just
story.
de-extincted
and then
a
speaking
12
of dino, here's a dino.
Scientists just de-extincted a 12,000-year-old dog. Well, kinda.
Okay,
You see, a
never mind.
bioengineering company called Colossal has dedicated itself to doing what every single Jurassic Park film has told us is a bad idea. Bringing back extinct species. And recently, they made a breakthrough. They have managed to bring back the 12,000-year-old direwolf. You know those big-ass puppies from Game of Thrones that the Starks had? Yeah, those were actually a real-ass animal, alive during the late Ice Age. And the best way I can
so
describe them to you
cool.
is, basically a wolf on steroids.
Yeah, buddy!
These things were bigger,
Yay!
faster,
Oh,
and
well, not
stronger,
like that.
estimated to have the
No.
highest bite force out of any canine. And in a move that I'm sure has no implications, they have managed to bring these bad boys back to life.
For real, for real?
They-
Wait, no, did they for real, for real?
These two little guys are now 6 months old and have been living on a private
That's
plot of
6-month-old baby. That's crazy. It looks full grown.
land with 24/7 veterinary
It's not
care.
a six-month
However, they've
baby,
only
six-month-old
just
baby.
been shown off to the public, with the company going so far as to get a photo op with George R.R. Martin holding one of these adorable little killing machines, showing that man will literally interact with an extinct species before he finishes that last f***ing book. There is, however, one small problem. This isn't technically a direwolf. You see, by merit of them being extinct, short of specking into necromancy, you can't exactly bring them back. Which is where this guy comes in. You see, the grey wolf shares 99.5%
They merged them.
of its genetic code with the direwolf. So, using CRISPR
That's
gene
crazy that we were able to do that, though. They have the gene of the extinct direwolf, and then they, I guess, somehow merged it with our current wolves?
editing, they basically toss the grey
ritual?
wolf back into the spore creature creator, then using the code found in direwolf fossils as a build guide, juiced the out of it, boosting the size slider and putting some extra points into strength, as well as adjusting its head shape and teeth. All in all, they made a total of 20 edits to 14 genes, producing the closest thing we can get to a direwolf short of time travel. Which is cool as I give it 5 years before a man-made horror beyond comprehension breaks out of that f***ing lab and we are all playing Resident Evil. Scientists just de-extincted a 12...
That is cool. They look really cute, but then, you know, so are like tigers and lions and...
This bear was actually a soldier.
It's a real image. That was a real image. It's standing amongst
This
the human
bear
like
was
that.
actually a
Look! It's like actually the bear from Jungle Book.
soldier. But how? You see, it was 1942, and the 22nd Polish Artillery Company were passing through the mountains of Iran, on their way to the front lines to fight the Nazis. While passing through a town on their way, they were stopped by a young Iranian shepherd, looking to trade with them for rations and a Swiss Army knife. When the Poles asked what he had to offer in return, the young shepherd produced a burlap sack containing an orphaned Syrian brown bear cub. You see, this bear's mother was shot by hunters, which is how he ended up in a low-tech Pokeball being offered as a trade deal. The Polish looked at the bear and, clearly seeing the potential for insane dad lore, said,
Damn good deal.
and in the most worthwhile trade deal in history,
That is
parted ways with
crazy.
their supplies in exchange for a f***ing Pokemon, adopting him into their ranks and naming him Wojtek. And the 22nd immediately set about raising this little man as a proper bear and soldier.
Maggots!
As a
That's
baby,
crazy.
they would feed him
So,
condensed milk.
Like group of like army guys raised a baby bear. It's so cute. It's what is it holding? It looks like a glass bottle.
Out of an empty vodka bottle, as well as feeding him on the
Wait, that's vodka bottle. What are they giving to the baby?
cartoon bear diet consisting of fruit,
It's me.
honey, and marmalade. They also appointed a soldier as his caretaker, who wasted no time in showing Wojtek how to fit in with the rest of the army, teaching Yogi's little cousin to
That-
wave,
That must have been like the best group to be in amongst like all the other soldier squad or groups.
salute, and even march. While not undergoing rigorous military training, Wojtek would hang out with the soldiers. He drank coffee with them in the morning, trained with them in the day, and when they all got shit-faced in the evening, he would f***ing wrestle with them. Do you know how much a brown bear has to love you to wrestle you? On top of double rations, they would also feed Wojtek treats in the form of beer and cigarettes. They let the bear have
That's
smoko.
crazy.
Eventually, Army High Command heard about this and were having absolutely none of it. You see, pets were not allowed in the army, which meant Wojtek had to go. Or did he? Because the 22nd Artillery Company officially enlisted him.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part.
Wojtek was given a serial number and granted the rank of private, so when confronted about the very conspicuous bear in their ranks, they simply went, "That's not a bear, that's Private Wojtek."
Now that is definition of I can't. What is the word in Korean? We would say like it's just like 우겨. Like you just 우겨 that you just say. You just keep just like. How do I say that in English? Yeah, I guess that's their loophole.
And Wojtek took his new role
Fed? I
very
don't know.
seriously, as during the Battle of Monte Cassino in 1944, Wojtek began using his bulk to transport artillery shells and ammo to soldiers engaged in combat.
So that thing I assume is really heavy, and the bear was doing it. The bear was the delivery boy for it. Wow, what a fantasy world.
They had a fucking resupply bear. For his
Yeah,
bravery, he
resupply
was promoted to
bear.
the rank of corporal, and the 22nd changed their insignia to a bear carrying an artillery shell.
Wow.
This absolute unit smoked, drank, and dropped artillery on the Nazis. Based.
Dang! What's his name again? Vortak? 07. That is so cool.
Crocodiles are just dinosaurs that forgot to go extinct. I am dead serious, and I cannot think of a croc species to better make my point than the saltwater crocodile, a species native to the land down under, and shocking absolutely no one. Yes, it can and will eat you. You see, keeping on theme with the whole forgetting to go extinct thing, the Salties stat spread just feels like something that should have been patched out with the rest of Jurassic Park, starting with their ridiculous size.
What is that?
You see, salties are
It's
the
just like a little
largest
tap
reptile
and then it
on
just
the
pops
planet.
up from
You
nowhere.
see, salties are the largest reptile on the planet, coming in at a total of 6 fucking meters long with a
6
maximum weight
meters?
of 1,100 kilos, which makes this
That's heavy. It's really heavy. If he's on top of you, there's no way you're gonna move that.
murder lizard genuinely longer than my fucking car.
Oh
And
my
the fucked up
god.
part is that despite being longer than my ute, they are for some reason absolute masters of stealth. You see, crocs are ambush predators, which is a scientific way of saying they are dirty fucking campers. You see, they've got 2 raised eyes that sit on the top of their heads, which means they can submerge their Ford Falcon-sized frame basically entirely under the water without sacrificing the ability to spot whatever they are looking to turn into a Happy Meal. And from your perspective as the Happy Meal, they are really difficult to see, which makes it very easy to walk just a little too close and, yeah, get bitten in half by that hydraulic press that they call a mouth.
That's why I love Nestle.
They eat bones like.
That's right, just like any good camper, these scaly
They
assholes are
just like bit into that big, huge bone. Like it's just like a little chip.
packing a one-shot in the form of one of the highest bite forces of any animal on the fucking planet, having been recorded at putting out a maximum of 3,700 psi of force through their jaws.
I don't know what that means.
To put that into context, your
Oh,
skull
he
will
knows I don't know what that means.
crack at 1,100 psi, so a croc would pop your head like a watermelon. And if you don't immediately get folded by the first bite, those jaws will latch onto you as the croc begins a death roll, spinning its ton of body weight like a washing machine until whatever part of you it has decided
What is that move? There must be like a wrestler who like made a move and named it something based on that they gotta.
to eat, snaps off, and is added to its protein goals. But the best thing about the crocodile is their build is so fucking good. They have genuinely been around with very little evolutionary change for 65 million years.
That is
which means I grew up
crazy.
watching Steve Irwin wrestle dinosaurs for fun. Rest in peace, you absolute fucking legend. Koalas are really dumb. In fact, Australia's
Well, that went in a full circle. Like, it started with me thinking koalas are like the scariest thing ever, and now they're really dumb.
fuzzy icon is probably the dumbest thing on the planet. And that stupidity
If
starts
I watched this first, I wouldn't have fallen for the drop bear twice.
with their diet, because of all the things they could have chosen to eat, they chose to eat nothing but straight up poison.
No, why?
You see, koalas feed exclusively on eucalyptus leaves, which, shocking no one, are highly toxic, because they are full to the brim with eucalypt oil, which is so fucking poisonous that
Wait,
as little as
I
3...
thought eucalyptus, there was like essential oil of that. I didn't think it was poisonous. Koala says 22 hours per day. Now that is good life right there.
0.75 mil is enough to land you in the afterlife, with the Reaper asking you why the fuck you felt the need to eat a leaf.
Why?
Oh, it's also highly flammable and burns like napalm, because Australia. Now, despite nature putting up this giant do not eat sign, that did not stop the koala, because he can't fucking read. This suboptimal bulking diet not only gives the koala all in the way of nutrition, but also requires their body to rest to filter out the toxins so they don't fucking cark
Oh,
it.
that's why they sleep 22 hours, right? They're sleeping the poison away, maybe?
Meaning they need to spend upwards of 18 hours
Oh,
a
so
day.
cute! Oh my gosh, it's a baby! They look so cute and comfy. But
Sleeping
it's like, how do you look so comfy on such a uncomfortable looking thing?
in order to just digest
Ow.
their fucking food. These
my God, that's
dumbasses
so
spend
cute.
most of their life in a food coma. That is, however, if they even get to the food to begin with, because they are so
a baby.
mind-numbingly brain dead that they will not
Baby.
recognize a eucalyptus leaf as food unless it is on the branch. I could give this dumbass a lifetime supply of food, and if it wasn't on a stick, he would starve to death. It should come as no surprise to you at this point that the koala has such an esky temperature IQ that they literally have a smooth brain. The thoughts slide
actual
right off of
brain?
this dumb c***.
Looks like that.
I love him.
Oh, they're so smooth and so derpy and so silly and so eepy. Okay, I'm glad that I learned about koalas for real, and not the fake news that this started with. It's neat. I learned so much about so many animals. This was a lot of fun.